Do you want to achieve financial freedom? Do you want to retire earlier than your peers? If the answer to both questions is a yes, then watch this video right to the end, especially when you're thinking of buying a car, because there'll be some tips on how you can both own a car and at the same time achieve financial freedom. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Calvin and I'm from Wealth Insiders. If you want to learn to be financially free, retire earlier than your peers, and learn about wealth creation strategies, start right now by clicking on the subscribe button here and click on the bell so that you do not miss any future videos from me. The first thing that you should be careful with is actually the car. I know when we are young, we have this aspiration that we want to own the car of our dreams. And normally with the first paycheck, the first thing you do is you go looking for a car already. But my recommendation is that you hold on to that kind of emotion. In fact, when you first start out, when you're in the early 20s, I recommend that you will consider using the public transport to go to work. Or maybe even taking a bicycle or even a motorbike to get to work. Then, when you are ready to have a car, maybe a year down the road, I would again recommend for you to get a cheap car, maybe a second-hand 3-year-old car, or maybe even the entry-level cheap car. But the main reason is that you need to get a car which is cheap. Why? Because most of us don't have the money to buy the car cash, right? So what we do is we normally go to the bank to get a bank loan, a car loan actually. And then if the car you buy is expensive, then naturally the car loan you're going to pay is going to be a lot of money. If your car is cheap, then the amount that you set aside from your salary is going to be lower. So what happens is that once you get a salary, you allocate some money for your car loan. And what happens is you still have a bit of money left. That money, you will put it aside into an investment pot. Then what you do is you go and buy investment assets that will give you passive income. Because this is how you can start. You get this extra money into your investment pot. Then what happens is when you buy this passive income asset, so by doing that, you are able to, down the road, achieve your financial freedom and also be able to retire earlier. Many people, when they buy a car, the insurance and maintenance is never on their mind. But it's very high actually. According to yourmechanic.com, the average American household will spend 5% of their total income on maintenance and insurance. Come back to the car again, right? A lot of times when we reach our 30s, our 40s, then what happens? Then our fingers get a bit itchy already. Why? Because what happens is you will see our friends, our loved ones, all starting to upgrade their lifestyle, and you'll see them getting that new BMW, that new Mercedes-Benz, or even that new luxury SUV, and we get tempted. I mean, yeah, I get tempted too. So we get tempted. So what happens is we want to buy. Yeah. Again, I want to say that hold on to your emotion. Why? Again, if you go and decide to buy this luxury car, and what happens is that again, you will have to allocate a lot of your money from your salary to pay the car loan. Because when you're in 30s and 40s, because your salary already had increased to a certain point, right? Especially even it's more than when you're in 20s. So what happens is you are able to allocate a lot more money to put into your investment pot, and again buy investment assets that will give you passive income. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't be getting a car, a nice luxury car. There are strategies that you can do, which I'll put on in another video, how you can own a luxury car, yet at the same time you're able to achieve your financial freedom. You will not give up on your dream to be financially free, to retire early. As for me, when I first started out, I also didn't have a car. Actually, a car of my own anyway. Yeah, I was working as a salesperson, and I have a requirement that I need to buy a car so that I can travel out of office because it's part of my job. So for the first few months of my working life, I actually borrowed a car from my father. And I've been driving that car, go to work, and then during work, go to see customer. I've been using my father's car. And subsequently, when I get my own car, a few months after that, what happened, it was a second-hand car. And I drove it for many years after that, this second-hand car. So I currently now drive a 14-year-old car, right? I'm driving a 14-year-old Honda City. In the US, it will be the Honda Fit. It's actually an entry-level sedan Honda car. And I've been driving that for 14 years. And that's what I've been doing. And that's what happened. Every time my salary increased over time, what actually happens is I was able to set aside a lot of money for big part of my salary, set it aside to put into my investment pot, and then I bought investment assets that will give me passive income. I mean, you take a look in this year, the year 2020, where there is happening, and it exposes a lot of weaknesses that all of us have. That we know that what happens is that some people are struggling to pay the car loan. Some people, if they don't work for 2 or 3 weeks, then they don't have the money to pay the car loan itself. The other thing that you should consider when buying a car is the resale value of the car. But you say, hey, what has that got to do with it? After all, I'm getting a new car. I want to buy what I want. Well, if you intend to achieve financial freedom and you want to retire early, this is something that you must really think about it. In America, it is said that every 6 years you change a new car. And if that is the situation, you know that every 6 years you're going to sell a car. So that's why the resale value is so very important. Because whenever you buy a car, the depreciation really drops compared to the amount you buy and the amount that you sell in the end. What are the things that you should look at when thinking about the resale value of the car? The first thing is the brand. Different brand of cars depreciate differently. Certain cars, even when you buy it at a certain price, will really drops down the price after a certain number of years. Certain cars, certain brands will hold the value. You don't drop so much. Of course you will drop, but it won't drop so much. The other thing that you should also consider is the color of the car that you're buying. Studies have shown that certain colors the price again will drop like nobody's business. Colors like gold, like green or orange, colors like that will impact the value of the resale car. The colors that are okay, that will hold their value, are quite the normal cars that we're talking about, like the color white or black, silver or gray. So you need to watch out for that, because if not, the value of your car will drop it will drop really like nobody's business when you sell it next time. Sometimes when you sell your car, especially when you've been holding on to the car for just a short period of time, like maybe 2 years, 3 years, or maybe even 4 years, what happens is the car value, the price that you're reselling it for, is lower than the car loan itself. So which means in order to sell your car, you must also pay the bank to top up the difference. So now you don't even have your car, and not only that, you have to put extra money to pay the bank. So why do you want to do that? Wealthy people, when they get a car, they do not use it for just 2, 3 years or even 4 years. Studies have shown that they will hold the car for at least 10 years. Because by doing that, the value of the depreciation of the car or the amortization of the car, right, would have slowly taper off, become very stable. Then by the time they sell, the price is still okay, but of course it's still a drop in the value of the car. So these are the things that you have to consider when you thinking of buying a car. I had also created another video up there, which is on how you can buy your own house with the end goal of you achieving financial freedom and retiring earlier than your peers. Don't forget to click up here, the subscribe button, so that you can receive future videos from me again.